Okay, so you know that Elder Dragon value package that's been showing up in like every single deck on the ladder right now? It was Yasuo! This guy's got synergy with 3 heavy hitter Elder Dragon buffable cards. We got Windsinger, in case you haven't seen enough of this card already, Mina Swiftfoot for obvious reasons, and of course this familiar seeming brother of Yasuo character. I believe his name is Yunai. All 3 of these cards will clean house if you play them in conjunction with a Yasuo, who, if you didn't know, does damage to any enemy that gets stunned or recalled by your effects. And even without the Yasuo, if you play these 3 cards the right way, they can cheat out tempo 2 or 3 times their mana value. But we need more big minions. First up, we got our boy Cloud Drake. He's gonna take all these expensive ass cards we have no business running and get us a good deal on them, especially when we add in Greenglade Lookout for even more free real estate. I mean, we are just giving these cards away. Now, Ocean Drake. You may have noticed that we have talked about 1 solitary card under the cost of 4 so far, and it was this fucking clown. So as you suspected, this is very much a mid to late game deck, so you're gonna need healing if you want to stand any chance against the degenerates. So here's your first batch of that. 1 healing per fast or slow spell or skill that you play. Already, I should mention that all 3 big boys have skills that will proc this healing, but I'm also gonna throw this guy down in the corner, and then every time there's a card in this video that activates the effect, I will bring him back. Boy oh boy, that is some subscribe-worthy editing, if you ask me. But I'm not done healing. As an alcohol wizard, I'd be remiss not to recommend the Smooth Mixologist. 3 flexible points of healing, a 3/4 body, and a coin. Which is not troll because we're running Tag Out. This is a versatile spell that can recall either your own units or your enemy. So whether you want more Yasuo procs or you want to double down on all the apeshit card effects in this deck, I can personally vouch for Tag Out over Will of Ionia for the self-recall value and the coin. See, there's 2 coin cards, dude. It's not troll. Fey Blade Twirler is a given in any Yasuo deck, like, of course. I think this shit is ungodly OP. I can't believe it still has quick attack in 2024. But hey, it does. So put it in. Shadow Assassin is one of my reluctant favorites. This card is extra nice when you're running Cloud Drake because it's more cards we can reduce the cost of, but it's also a cheap self-recall and it's elusive. So running this with buffed Ocean Drake and Windsinger really rounds out your potential elusive win condition. If you want to sub this for the maker, that might just work out, but for me, I'm still ride or die on this card and I'm pretty sure I'm getting good value on it. It's not troll, dude. Now let's finish up this deck with Capsize and Concussive Palm. This one's a stun, this one's a recall. Yasuo deck has Yasuo cards. Oh, I got this Yasuo card! Well, I actually haven't really tested this because I'm too scared to spend my V-Bucks, but 5 mana and a minion slot? I don't know, my minions are kind of sick with it. I think I gotta pass on this. What else? Twin Wind Technique. The potential to summon copies of my giant minions, of which I have no shortage, does admittedly sound enticing, but there's one word that I really don't like on this card. When I'm against aggro decks, I'm gonna need a panic button if some fucking stray hallowed lunatic is about to chunk me for 10 health. If that panic button is slow, I'm already dead. What about Minotaur Reckoner or Infinite Mind Splitter? It's also kind of slow. The effects go off at round start, not at play. And in a deck based around giant tempo swings like Windsinger and Mina Swiftfoot, I could give a fuck about anything that's not 100% proactive. Besides, we'd realistically be subbing Yone here, and that guy's literally Yasuo's cousin. Okay, broad name. Hell no. I see this card a lot, so I bet some of you are surprised, but literally none of our spells or skills do any damage. Even Yasuo's effect doesn't count, so if I catch you running this guy, we got beef. The last card I'll mention is Vestayan Disciple. This one might actually kind of work. I'm not experienced with this one, again, because it's one of the forbidden purple class cards, but I unironically can't see this outperforming Shadow Assassin anyway. You can milk more cards out of this thing, sure, but it's clunky, it's conditional, and it's delayed. Meanwhile, look at Shadow Assassin here just giving me what I fucking paid for. Immediately, no questions asked. This is the attitude I need from my card dealer, and if I really need multiple cards that bad, I can just self-recall and play her again. I love to see a green card winning, and so does your wallet, so if you don't own this card already, don't bother. In the mulligan, we're looking for any minions that cost 4 or lower, obviously including Yasuo. And we're also specifically looking for Capsize. This card is low-key an early game monster. It's slow, so you gotta be smart about it, but against aggro decks, 1 Capsize can be game over. This 2-mana penalty can absolutely shut down minion-reliant decks from getting the early board control they would need to win. And you won't miss it in the late game when they start swinging at you with high-power minions because we got Tag Out and Concussive Palm to mitigate unwanted trades or Nexus strikes. So yeah, kinda weird mulligan, but if they're running some horseshit over there, this will save your ass if you use it right. Now, as the game goes on, you're gonna wanna focus on disrupting anything they got, because you're not gonna have to worry about their board if their board is actually their hand. For sure, you wanna sneak out cards like Fey a Blade Twirler or Cloud Drake along the way, especially if you can lower the cost of your sabotage efficiently, but you mainly want to spend their turn denying value so you can throw out an immediate attack as soon as you get the token while their big threats are still recalled. This works because much of your disruption has incidental minions attached to it. For example, we have recall 3 enemies, holy shit, that's 15 potential damage and infinite potential tempo swing, but it also comes with a free 7/6. Or heal every time you cast a spell, holy shit, but it also comes with a free 3/5. And many of these incidental minions I'm talking about also happen to be elusive or Elder Dragon buffed or both. That's how this deck wins. Say it's turn 10. You play 2 discounted Wind Singers with elusive and impact, and your opponent didn't play any minions. What are they talking about? They're crazy. There you go. That was 5 whole pages on how this deck works, so you should be good to go with that. I have the import code in the description of this video, or if for some reason that doesn't work, here it is on screen right now. Go ahead and pause it. You know, you really should just go to the description. Copying and pasting this would be way easier than writing it down by candlelight or whatever you're doing right now, but okay, cool. You're not even hearing this. You paused it. Now, am I saying this is the #1 meta deck for Eternal format in the whole universe? No, probably not, but I will say this. I've been consistently winning with this for a while now, and it's the most fun I've had playing Runeterra since day 1, when I was just a fresh-faced little lad playing a brand new card game with all my favorite guys in it. It feels good to have so much agency on what your opponent is doing. It might be a little dirty, it might be a little frustrating to play against sometimes, but it forces you to make really engaging decisions about who to recall and when, or when to cash out your attacks for maximum value discrepancy, or what Elder Dragon buffs to choose. It's so cool to see how this insane tool belt fares against different types of matchups, especially in Eternal format where you're gonna get tons of variety. And hey, maybe one day they'll actually make crafting this deck worth some fucking LP, goddammit. Fuck, actually, I better start talking right now. I don't know how copyrighted that song is. You should join my Discord. That's the best way to keep up to date. You should subscribe to the channel. We do league stuff. We do variety stuff. Sometimes, I don't know what this channel does, honestly. And then I stream every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern time on this channel. I gotta cut it off. I really don't know how copyrighted this shit is.